Welcome back everybody to the wonderful world of Age of Wonders 4. This is my extended look, early access, first let's play of Age of Wonders here on the channel. If you're new, be sure to subscribe, help us hit our next subscriber target. But that shameless plug aside, let's jump back in. So we have this wonderful Scienceville city up here, which is just glorious and fantastic and is producing a whole lot of research for us. Then we have our capital, Safe Ward, which is expanding out to sea slowly. And then we have our city-state vassal here, who I think I'm going to save up all of my Imperium and integrate them. Reason being, firstly, there seem to be very few of them on this map, or at least on the overworld. A reminder, there is this underground that we haven't yet been able to get to. But that's because I didn't realize there was an underground passage literally right here. It's within our city-state's border, and it's for that reason, and the fact that the map is quite tight. Here's Ducat Lady, our ally. We've got the dwarf, likely located in the underground, and then finally we have here our actual rival just next door. And I think that the city-state will therefore be useful as our third city, and then we can think about future ones after that. Now, the other thing to note, you might notice I changed one setting since last time. I thought you could let me know in the comments which one you'd prefer. I kind of like it with it on, but then maybe off in the later game. Province labels here. So now we can see things like underground passage, or tile improvements, or territory improvements, like quarries and huts. Makes it a little bit easier, I think. And yes, good news, we can integrate them. Very good. All right, let's jump back in. My goodness, I love this game. Okay, they're expanding out to the sea. You're doing well, friend. Keep up the great work. Let's get this hero over to the gargoyles, and you know, our units are kind of crappy. We need to get access to some better units somehow. We also have some special tile improvements. What are they based around? Quarries. Not ideal. Really not ideal. We don't have an awful lot of quarries at the moment. Okay, note to self. We probably want to build maybe here's one, so we could get a cluster between these cities and then bowl it all down where we want to get a research out the way. Okay, good. In terms of empire development, we've started to sort of creep up here. We could get some extra casting points. That might be quite useful. We also have these generic benefits, of course, just sort of a sum of all of our parts put together. Let's get the shared city income, because we're about to have 3 cities touching any day now. I actually realized they weren't quite touching, but that will pay off soon. And over onto our science or magical research tree, let's get stone skin, because of course we are the rock-infused, Mandalorian-looking toad people who are actually surprisingly adaptive to living and moving through the desert, which is great. I need to save up my Imperium and stop spending it right now. So as juicy as these benefits are, I'm going to ignore the allure of the pop-up. Let's cast a summoning spell for a military unit. Let's get one of these lightning boys, because that's a bit of fun. And nope, you're good. End. Our growth rate isn't the most fantastic I've ever had, I'm not going to lie. Ah, what a bait that is. Okay, a battle quest has popped up. Croaking seafarers, too far, too greedy, a dread spider matriarch. The menaces are stalking the golden vein. Oh, great. Okay, would we like to save them? Would we like to receive some knowledge and have a materium crisis? I mean, the knowledge is kind of tempting. But no, look, we'll save you, it's fine. Slay 6 units. Okay, we've got to wander up here and slay 6 spiders. We already have 4 dudes hanging around nearby. I don't like the look of this place, which is popping out hostile armies, but maybe she can deal with that. All right, let's rendezvous up this way. We're all healed up. We can mosey up outside. Ducat Lady just wants to say, hey, let's trade, and I think that's a great idea. So this is the actual trade menu where we can trade resources, but we can also get treaties and pacts. We need our empire relations to be a little bit better for all of these by the looks, except for Wizard's Bond, which, let's see, both rulers agree to a Wizard's Bond to improve empire relations and access new treaties. So it's kind of like our very first treaty in Civ 6. Okay, great. Now that we have a Wizard's Bond, can I interest you in... Both rulers are allowed to build on each other's claimed provinces without triggering casualties. Or we could have free movement of passage. Let's go province claiming. Why not? I love a greedy expand, and I think that's great to have. And open borders too. Let's do it. We're best buddies. So the way that victory works in this, if we went for a military victory and they were sort of inferior to us, our ally, we don't have to destroy them. We can just destroy everyone who's not allied up with us, which I think is pretty cool. Here's our summoning spell that's just came through, so we can summon a unit literally right on top of this army. So strong. So strong. The more of those unit summoning ones I can get, the better. Let's complete the first one, though. Let's get that Wayfinder enhancement. Not that that's going to be particularly useful, but it's a cheap research, so it doesn't matter. Another ruler was denounced. Do Cat Lady denounce the dwarf? I'll denounce the dwarf with you. Fabricate a grievance. Let's fabricate a grievance. That's quite funny. We'll fabricate a grievance and then denounce them for it. How dare you do something you didn't do? Do Cat Lady just wants to say, hey, look, everything's great. It is. Another ruler denounced. That's fine. Those two don't like each other very much. Understood. Here's another unit to reinforce. That army is now fighting fit and potentially strong enough to take that by itself. But to avoid casualties, seeing as we're right here, let's keep people grouped up. The map's fairly small. I think we can afford to do that. Do I want to get started on my quarry pit? Okay. Sure. And we've got a lot of buildings to get through, which makes me think that our production could be a bit crappy. Maybe a stonemason is in order. To boost that, we need 2 farms. We do have a defensive building boosted. It's not especially great. Let's get some extra knowledge in case we want to take the magic victory. Growth is quite slow, so maybe a grand mill after that too. That's a couple of nice city buildings. I've found that city buildings are pretty important, but not necessarily the be-all and end-all. I haven't yet figured out if it's better to specialize cities or to spread them out quite wide, but I think because of the way that you unlock the first tier building, then the second tier, then the third, there could be some value in focusing down. I mean, we're kind of doing it here with research, so maybe I should keep that in mind. Let's snab these ruins within our territory. And then, yeah, let's really focus on research. I mean, the basic workshop is probably okay, but then maybe IQ, yeah, see. So once we get the Arcane Institution down, we can go straight into the Academy, though it is quite expensive. So it might not necessarily be worth doing that to a certain point, but I think at least maybe through until the second tier. Especially because, of course, we can hurry along things with our money. So we can like half complete it and then buy out the rest. I think that's the strat. All right, these guys can be integrated next turn, 280. Okay. She wants me to declare a rivalry with the dwarves. So be it. Your wish is my command, do Cat Lady. We're going to take over this world together, me and you, because I created you in a previous playthrough. Great. Cool. We got 50 buddy points for that. Very good. Next turn, you will be mine. Production already done. We've completed a chapter of a tome, which means we can now move through and grab another one to add to our library. This time they're tier 2, which means we should think about our victory conditions a little bit more carefully. I think we're definitely going into combat, so something that would help us with combat is probably going to be a good idea. I thought you might be interested in looking through them. I've gone through them all now. I think this was probably my favorite one. I don't so much like the idea of randomly displacing enemies and inflicting damage with all this crazy stuff, although the Gremlin, quite fun. Whereas Scold, a support unit, last playthrough I did that one. I'll take Mayhem, I think, unless we want to go Dwarven. You know what? That Iron Golem has convinced me. Siegecraft, expert weapons, and golems. And we are, of course, industrious by nature, right? We have the Materium Affinity sort of pulsing through our veins. So, oh yes, Iron Golem, give it to me. Give me the Iron Golem. Boom. Fantastic. We're going to get some of those and summon some of those. Maybe we get some little ones. Let's quickly work on casting a little one, because of course we've already unlocked that. And then we'll unlock the big golems. We'll lean into this rock theme as well. This should be a comfortable battle. We've got both of our heroes, full armies. Yeah, well done. And everybody leveled up in the process too. We've also completed this quest. 260 bucks. A Marauder ring. Grants, this is tier list, tier tipception. The unit inflicts double morale penalties. Okay, the unit grants double the morale bonus. We've gone nicely with that morale one. I'm going to take the money. Although that ring is actually really good. Taking the ring would be the right thing to do. Okay, you're a ranged fighter. Kind of can't go wrong with a bit of sprint though. Let's let you run fast and then we'll get you our proper weapons next time. And then we also have our main... God, you're just brilliant. Our main person who can now get one of these hero skills every 5 levels. They're very good. Reckless Rage is quite fun. Plus 30% melee attack damage for a turn. Defense, resistance, sundered. Visions of Woe. Deals damage to target and heals you the same amount. That's pretty cool. Let's make this thing. Let's give you Draining Blade, because we're probably going to need you to carry with that massive weapon of yours. It looks like, you know what? You've got one more. Let's lean into fighting a bit more. Deal. The Axe Swinger. We do need one more reinforcement, I think, on one of these armies to plump them up. Oh, we need 2. Yikes. New Empire development tree. Could lean into our magic a bit more. Whenever a new research skill is researched, the knowledge cost of another one drops by 1/4. That's really good for the longevity research play. I would like that item. I would like mines being better, but I'm going to take that because that will save us a lot of research over the long run. I think it's a very powerful early game science buff. Okay, so just moving through to the end of this turn, and we do actually have another underground passage. Thankfully, again under our control. Makes me think there must be some more. At least one more. Otherwise, I've got them both. Not that enemies can't trespass, but they have to be very careful, and declarations of war can get a little bit messy. Anyway, let's select this unit and head down into here. Looks like it's literally just a pocket. Wow. Jeez, I really struck gold here, everybody. What the F is this? I mean, I guess you could have a really fortified single city down here. Oh, that's great. By the way, quick tip, passing the turn where you're not looking at anybody will mean the units move instantly rather than you watching them move on default movement settings. So if you just like jump to the underground or somewhere where there isn't anything going on, the turn will pass very quickly. Okay, well that was just a shambolic failure. Let's get you over to that one. Amazing. We could be greedy and grab another city. I don't think that's what we're gonna do. Next turn, I promise I'll take that. See, so here's the trespass. Evil act. We could trespass. It'll generate a grievance. I don't think it's worth doing just yet. I don't think we quite have an army that's ready to slay somebody. Not just yet. Let's get another little rock boy. Iron Golem complete. I wish I'd done that. City fortification. Not terrible, but I might do this one because it had the exclamation point next to it. It's the final thing to research in its tier. I guess we'll just sort of patrol around a little bit. Okay, she's great. This outpost by Ducat Lady has not been very successful. You'd like me to deal with some units on the frontier over the gold. Okay, sure. Oh, wow. Okay. And Carissa just declared war, citing that I captured an ancient wonder, built a nearby outpost, and I'm a threat. Well, I mean, you flatter me, Carissa, with your kind words. Okay. Looks like we're going to war, everybody. Oh boy. Iron Golems aren't summonable. But we can create them. Ah, yes. All right, and we have the money to insta-complete some buildings. So we'll get our Arcane Institution online, but more importantly, to insta-complete one of these golems. Our first tier 3 unit. And might I say, you're looking fine. Alright. Let's, I guess, reinforce this army, because now we're going to war. I want to keep my armies close together, because they'll need to fight around each other. Let us waste no time on the battlefield. Alright, love. Jeez. What is this for? Go away. I mean, really. An extra lesser stone spirit. Ooh, say that 5 times fast. Let's summon it in the capital as a little bit of a defensive something, just in case. We could complete this tome, or we could get some nice siege magic. Let's get some siege magic. That will help if we're going to be taking a capital sometime soon. And we do still need to scout out. So lucky we kept this Rainbow Scout alive, because it's going to hoon over that way and do that for us. Alright, you can merge up. So you're 579, you're 581. So the armies are roughly the same combat strength. This one's a very odd composition. They both are, really. What's this lesser storm spirit doing here? Rally Lieges, it's just complete garbage in there. Okay, Ducat Lady's still pretty pleased with us, which is always good to see. Should I call her to war? I'm gonna do it. Fight with me! Okay, so Ducat Lady declined. Maybe we're not as great of friends as I thought we were, because we could absolutely roll her. Anyway, we've got more than enough now to integrate this city, so let's do it. Let's also pay attention to my yields. So 127 gold a turn, 45 magic. 189 and 51. Good. Good. We were getting already half of what they produce, so obviously it hasn't just completely added everything extra. There was a penalty, but it was still worthwhile, at least looking at our base yields. Once you start to go over the city cap, though, you start to take quite significant penalties on, I think, things like knowledge. We could have it grow itself, but I think I'm going to take over myself. Let's assign our new hero, because of course we've picked up a new hero, who was the governor, as the governor again. More of a ceremonial change, I guess, if you will. Oh, that fishmonger's a brilliant building. And we'll be able to train some of their units from their people as well, when we have the cash to do so. They can grow, so let's try and steal more of Ducat Lady's territories. How can we take that? That's wild. Yoink. Of course, yeah, we don't mind. Ducat Lady and I, we have a treaty. Right, so a pact of integration has been signed. Our Whispering Stone is back. Let's have a gander in the underground and see what's down here. Okay, this looks a bit more civilized. And there's a Dwarven city border. Interesting. We've also picked up, what have we got? Some food crystals. We've got the fruit back because we took them over. Great to see. Speaking of great to see. Oh no, let's get our last quarry down. There you go. It'll help you build stuff. I can't ignore every resource everywhere, I figure. Or what I also can't ignore is this war threat. Let's move up this way. It seems strange to declare war without sending anything at me. I don't think we've seen any of their units. I have this quest too that I'd really love to run back and do. I wonder if... Hey guys, do you think we've got time to... Yeah, we've got time. I'm sure it'll be fine. Tier 1 units cost less. I mean, that could be a great way to save me a little bit of cash fast. I don't think we want any of the basic ones. These city growth ones could be alright, especially the unit healing or the farms. But let's save a bit of money, get our tier 1 units saving us cash, because that one will quickly become useless. You could argue, why'd you bother then, Jumbo? And that would be fair. Okay, here's the city. Underground, right in the corner. Lots of quarries and mines. I'm going to put you on Auto Explore, and you can paint the underground for me while I focus on overworldly affairs. Like training units and just letting them stand there. Actually, this guy, who is a hero, could use some assistance, probably, just in case we get into conflict here. Let's queue up a couple of maybe slightly cheaper units. Maybe like a tier 1 and a tier 2. He doesn't need much. I figure he just needs a couple of dudes. The capital, I think, should just spam out iron golems as much as it can. 1 or 2, just for a little bit. And then this city can get back to focusing on being a city and growing like a city should grow. And I think in this case, probably this gold mine will be great for our industry. Oh no, and we're good. I think actually in general, the balance between the sort of good and evil benefits is not too bad in this game. But here, as you can see, it actually works well for us for free cities anyway, not they seem to exist, or random events, slightly higher chance of them being positive. And hopefully the outcome here is gloriously positive and we can get back to the front line. Yikes! I won't take the 50-50 like last time. We could just remove the army and not grow for 6 turns. But I think we'll cut these heinous looking caustic worms down to size. Well and truly down to size. We took 1 loss in the process, but a job well done. And now the reward for this is usually pretty decent. Finish a building, get 1.3 turns worth of research, get a unit, or just be good. I think we'll finish a building this time. I don't think actually that research is really needed or wanted. So get out of here. The extra industry will let me pump out something pretty quickly here. Mana obelisk. Okay. And then, because it's the capital, we might want to consider getting some defenses sometime soon. Some physical defenses, because we don't have a lot of units. We can also start to upgrade our wizard's tower. This is one of the only ways to earn extra Imperium. So it's fairly important. I might slide it to the front of the queue. It's pretty cheap to do as well. Oh, crap. Okay. Challenger has entered. And they've brought with them 18 units. Fairly strong, fairly evenly matched. We're gonna need all hands on. This guy who is gonna live his life standing guard? No. Just no. Here's a little spirit for you. Let me also quickly rush finish an iron golem so we can grab them next turn. I mean, do you really need to build that right now? You know what, it's fine. Scienceville, Tennessee, you're a juicy target. Let's defend you as much as we can. A defensive pact. Yes! Yes! Come to war with me, friend! Me and my Tajik. Do you like that, huh? I created her after all. We'll join you in war. Yes! Oh, that is just in the nick of time. As the city of Scab, which has a whopping 16 population. Are you running away with the game? Has joined the war. Good stuff. Okay. Other rulers have started a war. Good to know. I started that war. Don't you tell me. Okay. Farms with extra food. A lot of these aren't great. Let's get the cheap extra casting points. And, of course, the extra affinity. Spells to cast. Siege magic for future. We can stack that up. Get that ready. Iron Golem is ready to move. I think he's just going to run in by himself. And this guy, look, you'll just have to catch up, okay? Great. You can move just a little bit closer to the city. And hide at the back. Actually, go there. Siege magic. Wow, that was fast. Sheesh. Let's get artisan fortification. I feel like that can only be a good thing to research at the moment. As the enemy brings in... Yeah, it's still 3 armies. They might also start to pillage or something. Though... Oh, there is more than 3 armies. Okay, a 4th army enters. Hey, Ducat lady. Now's the time to strike, yeah, huh? Okay. There's a battle quest. Increasing stability. No, look, the forests just are not my concern right now. I'm sorry. Okay, siege magic. Who do we want to equip it to? Probably, I Oh, it's just support units. Not as great as I thought, but you know what? We've researched it now. We're stacking it and racking it. Say somebody was sent to the astral void. What is going on? This is wild. Quickly, build more iron golems. You know you want to. Gargoyle, still a little expensive to rush. Okay. We'll position up. Inside the city. Prepare for a siege. Make sure all of our units are stacked and healed. We're producing kind of as much as we can. Ducat Lady, come on. Go get her. If Ducat Lady even just acts as a distraction, the AI here may pull back. Looks like not at the moment. And you might think this is a bit scary because I'm a bit outnumbered. And they've put the city under siege. But I think it's going to be okay. I do. My domain's being invaded. Yup. Let's rally a giant butcher ogre to the throne city. Great. And let's have a look at this siege. We really don't have a lot of defenses here. Their army is worse than ours, though, by quite some margin. And we can keep bringing in more dudes. If I had just saved just a little bit more money. Yeah, look, he's in the void. Oh my god. You're mad. This is absolutely mad. Immediately summon a spirit wolf to your throne city. So that's one way we could get a little bit of extra power. Each city loses one population, summons 3 tier 1 units. Let's do that. Right of the last stand. We're calling in an emergency action, everybody. That's right. Look, I've pooped out a whole load of units, and now your siege is going to fail. With all of those extra reinforcements, this city now has 4 as well. We might as well just bring them up. We could almost consider fighting back here and repelling this siege. You know what? I think we do that. The odds are in our favor. Yeah. You like a siege? Oh, look at this. We've got 2 heroes here as well. So if you defeat an enemy hero, they'll be sent to the void. Now, they can come back unless the throne city, their throne city, is captured. My god, my helmet is big. You look ridiculous. In which case, they'll stay away in the void. Let's go auto combat. It's a comfortable enough margin that I think it should be okay. Oh man, that was brutal though. Also, my PC really hitched a little bit. I think it was a bit touch and go, everybody. Okay, good fight. Good fight. Whew. All of our heroes survived. We managed to wipe out most of their army, but not all. I wonder if we go in for one last little stab here. Push everybody to their absolute limit. Oh, he's got reckless disregard for his troops' safety. And it paid dividends. Yes. Good stuff. Let's get you sprint so you can be a little bit faster in the battlefield. I figure particularly useful for those auto fights, because any extra thing that you can give to your dudes is probably worthwhile doing. Oh, you carry a mighty blade. And attacks that hit this unit from within 3 hexes deal 5 spirit damage. Okay. Let's get you our special obsidian weaponry, because you're one of us. It's kind of like our Mandalorian armor. If this crappy joke wants to keep going, it can, everybody, and it will. Base melee and physical ranged attacks gain 60% chance of bleeding. Yeah, we just make everybody bleed with our ferocious weapons. I like it. Okay, so she's been sent to the void, and we've taken the remains. So any sort of non-ruling hero, we get to capture them. Wizard Tower can let us do all sorts of things, like torture them and so on and so forth. We could recruit, I believe. Oh, not them. RIP. Maybe with a special ability later. Or we can just sell off them for like 40 bucks. I'm not entirely sure that's a very good deal, though. What is a good deal, generally, is getting these boosted buildings. Stability is quite a problem. So let's quickly make these people forget they're unhappy by putting a tavern at the very front of the queue. This city's kind of a bit mad as well. No longer needs me to build those defenses though, so you know what everybody was celebrating? It's taverns for all. It's taverns for all. Okay, great. Okay, so skipping ahead just a couple of turns, our rallied ogre has arrived. I've started to regroup my units, and I think we're just going to push ahead. You know, most of these armies are fairly full, and I've noticed that my ally must be coming in and pillaging down south here on Druin. So Druin, between me and Ducat Lady, is actually going to be, I think, quite an easy target, especially because we wiped out essentially all of their army and their leader. I think we must rush in. We're obliged to. I also took a tier 2 tome for the Shadow Affinity, which is going to be good to unlock a little bit of extra research stuff. 50 knowledge per level of hero defeated. And it gets much stronger, of course, as you move through. Because I think that a research win here could be a viable choice, or a military win. The expansion one, I think, tends to be the hardest. However, on a small map like this, it might not be too bad. I'll have to think about that, but I think that magic or combat are two pretty reasonable ones. Do we want to get one of our special quarries? 15% production income plus 5 per adjacent quarry. I don't... What? I think this could very well be the bad one. Let's place it there. Okay. This guy... This poor guy. Just drive you into the lava. This guy has essentially completed his mission. Everything has been scouted. You just sit there and just sit outside and watch the dwarf. Okay? We don't trust him. We don't trust him. He's literally right beneath us. He could pop up at any moment, but not out of this, because that, my friends, is an iron deposit. Okay. Let's move in. We're going balls to the walls. Okay, there's an army of 6 and an army of 2. We can fend that off pretty easily if we bring the ogre up as well. I don't think we'll need any more units than that, so I'm happy to leave that there. Shuffling research is cheaper and research buildings are cheaper. Where were you when I needed you? We'll grab it now anyway, because there's more where that came from, right? I think, in fact, yeah, look at that. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. No, it isn't. It's just so much cheaper now. Holy cow, I need to get these online. How are these early research buildings not online? We should be maxing up probably 1 tier above everything else, I would say, on this city, because it's so research focused. It's kind of its deal, you know? Let's summon a Banshee, a new spell that I've got. It's a tier 3 Battle Mage unit. Sounds like a bit of fun. Brilliant. And if we research this one, we will complete a tome. Hold on there. Perhaps it's new, starting one? I'm not sure, but we're going to grab that anyway because it was a tier 3. So surely it's good, right? No, not necessarily, but generally. Okay. Our advisors advise that safe ward announce costly plans to import food. Oh, jeez. Lose money, gain stability. Lose money, receive food. Lose stability, be evil. Let's pay. Let's pay to feed the people. That's fine. And Golem, you wait there. We're not going to need you. This is going to be over with very quickly. Okay. Up to the city we step, with an ogre sort of lumbering behind. And let's start a 5-turn siege. Now, we can add siege products. At the moment, just 2. We can also see what city defenses they have. Okay. What do we have? We've actually unlocked quite a few cool ones, thanks to our research. Half of their tower units are destroyed. Are you a tower unit? Ballista towers? I think so. We don't want things like headlong assault in particular. I think the onagers could be quite fun to have some siegecraft, otherwise undermining the walls. But let's go tower bombardment with a bit of magic, and then get some onagers, because we can afford them. And they're actually extra units, which seems like a lot of fun. So now this siege will sit here for 5 turns. Wondering what that is. Do we want to bring up an iron golem just in case? I mean, no one ever regretted having their iron golem, did they? I was like, man, I I'm so glad I left my iron golem at home today. Said literally no one ever. So I think we'll bring him. Fangir's not to be crossed. I can denounce Fangir. I denounce Fangir in my sleep. Consider yourself denounced for plotting to take over the free cities, which I fabricated on him back in episode 1. Very good. Very good. Alright. Take that, you dwarf. Underground city. I think we just defend here. This place is probably fine to just sit on autopilot. Basically treating it as if it was still a city-state, but just not quite. Yeah, it's like, why? We can now declare a justified war on him too. We might keep that in mind for future. But at the moment, I think we're a bit preoccupied with this siege. Ogre reinforcements lumber their way in our big slow units. And I'm going to cast a couple of spells and see you momentarily. Okay, so flash forward a few turns, everybody. I didn't feel it was right to leave the episode without completing the siege, but I also felt like my armies were a bit weak. So what I've been doing is summoning in extra units, or walking over a couple of iron golems, because we just need more power in here. And so I've been swapping out crap units for slightly better ones, so that we can just add a little bit of extra strength. Now I'm at 2100, they're still at 1500. I'm ignoring this call to war, because Ducat Lady wants to go to war with the dwarves, and I am just not ready for that just quite yet. Let's take the knowledge, because knowledge is key. I have one final Banshee that I'm going to zoom in, thanks to the power of magic in this game, and pump it out right there. This army, the central army here is the weakest one, and it's probably these tier 1 units. This thing has 57 health. This thing has 54. This thing only does 12 damage. Let's get this tiny little rock boy out of there because he's just completely useless. And swap in. Now we have 3 Banshees in this army. All right. I am happy now with 700 extra combat strength that this attack will not be a problem. Auto-resolve. Success. Okay, good. That hero fled, but Carissa has fallen. Fantastic result. Took us a little bit to get there. So Carissa's going off to the void. We can get some money and Imperium for it. We can be a little bit evil and get some draft. Get a little bit of magic and be good, help her along her way. I think we'll be evil and get some draft. We're not going to help her. And just like that, Carissa has been defeated. But before I end this episode, there are 2 things that we should do. First and foremost, we want to migrate ourselves to this city and make ourselves a little bit more evil and absorb it as we go. This will be our 4th city, and we'll have control over the overworld alongside Ducat Lady. But hold on! While I was going through the 4 or 5 turns or whatever it was, getting ready with just a little bit of extra strength for that fight, I noticed that the dwarf has spread above ground, also has a city-state ally well under their control. So next time, we're going to have to really focus on this guy because he's also underground. This is not just what he has. He's actually a really viable competitor in what is now hopefully turned into a 3-way race. Ooh, and there's going to be a fresh free city up for grabs. All of that and more next time, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you next time.